friends, thank you for watching. Today, I wanted to talk to you about bad habits. We may not all care to admit it, but most of us have at least one bad habit. You know, I keep honest in all my videos, so I'll share with you some of mine. The biggest one I'm working on is smoking. I am a recovering smoker. When I grew up in Romania, just about everybody smoked everywhere. So my cousin got me into it, and it's been a problem since. I quit about 4 times, and it's truly been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. Mind you, I've gone through a divorce, and I've gone through a bankruptcy, and I moved to this country by myself, and yet quitting smoking has been one of the hardest things. So yeah, I also cracked my knuckles and my neck. The knuckles have never been an issue to me or anybody around me, but the neck I know I have to be more careful with, so that's not a good one. I'm also working on my defensiveness and making rash decisions, but I have done very well actually on breaking the habits of gossip, attention seeking, and resisting change. Believe it or not, those are actual habits. Regularly repeated patterns constitute habits, and habits are not limited to things that are tangible, like smoking, cracking your knuckles, throat clearing, or biting your nails. They can be patterns in thinking as well, and I mentioned some already. Other bad ones would be being late, procrastinating, negative thinking, or engaging in self-sabotage. Essentially, a bad habit can be any repeated thought or action that affects you in your everyday life. Now, for many of us, these habits have been lurking around for a little while, so the question is, how do we break them now? I certainly don't have all the answers, but as I dedicate my life to living it better and try helping everybody else around me do that as well, I get to learn, try, and practice a lot of different things. And as far as bad habits are concerned, today I will share with you the things that have worked for me. Where there's a will, there is a way, and every single bad habit can be broken. So if you have any bad-ish habits and are ready to do what it takes to break them, then this video is for you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, so stopping a bad habit immediately is actually not the right way to go about it, and it's for that reason that many of us who try cutting something cold turkey or without any thought into the action will very likely fail. There's a small period of preparation that needs to go into breaking a habit so it is successful, and part of that is to change the tone of the conversation we have with ourselves. Bad habits lead to some negative talk. It would be very easy for me to say, I'm not strong enough to quit. I tried like 4 times already and failed. But nothing good comes out from that mind frame. So I will keep smoking and solve nothing. But if I can overcome that monologue with a but, for example, I'm not strong enough to quit, but I can be with the proper tools and plans in place. That is a completely different conversation. And if I keep doing that with every discouraging thought that does come to my mind, I will set a different intention and already sway the odds of success in my favor. I'm so fat, but I could be 15 pounds lighter 2 months from now. I'm such a failure, but who's never failed at something? I hope this makes sense. Step number 2 is to become hyper aware of your habit. Awareness will actually show you how to change your habit. So please write down the following questions, and over the next 2 weeks, as you do that habit, pay close attention and then write down the answers in a little log or journal. First question, when is the habit actually happening? What time? 9 a.m., 2 o'clock, 6 p.m.? Keep track of when you do it. How many times do you do it each day? You can sum that up by looking at all the times you've listed from the earlier question. Where are you when you do this? Are you at home? Are you in your cafeteria during lunch break? Where are you? Who are you with? List it out. What triggers the habit? What do you think causes it to start? Are you stressed, bored, spacing out, feeling anxious? And lastly, what do you feel when you do it and after you do it? Does it temporarily relieve stress? Does it feed a biological need? Does it make you feel safe? Those are the questions I would love for you to have access to on a consistent basis, and then write down the answer to those questions each time after you do that habit that you want to break. When you get that detailed detailed into the roots and the very existence of your habit. You're not only generating new information that can help you find effective solutions, the very act of tracking it will heighten your awareness and cause you to do it less often. So like I said, there's a short pre-planning period that is crucial to the success of breaking a bad habit. Now, as you're getting ready to take action, you need to make sure that you choose the right approach for you. Some people find it best to quit a behavior all at once, while others respond better to cutting down that behavior slowly over time. This depends on the habit, and it depends on how you successfully do things. So think about it, and don't choose to cut down over time as opposed to cut out just because you want to indulge in the habit a little bit longer. Go with what will be in your best interest. Step number 4 is a good old switcheroo. Basically, you don't focus so much on eliminating a bad habit, but replacing it with a better one. Good or bad, the habits we have right now are there for a reason, and they provide some form of relief for us, either mental, emotional, or biological relief. And because they do provide some type of relief, to simply eliminate any one of those habits would be very difficult. It's for the same reason why the simple-minded advice of just stop doing it almost never works. The discovery process we went over earlier will help you find out what type of benefits that habit is giving you, and then you can work on replacing that habit with a better one that can provide similar benefits. And here's an example. First thing I would think of when feeling stressed was reaching for the cigarette, because it always gave me that moment. So instead of just cutting out smoking, I cut smoking and had a plan outlined already of how to deal with moments of stress like that. One of the things I did and continue doing when I'm stressed is this stretching exercise that I walked you through in the video about dealing with stress. Is the one where you sway from side to side. There are several exercises in there, but this one particularly works best for me. When I was biting my nails, here's another example. Every time I had the urge to do it, I would pop a piece of gum in my mouth and I would hold my hand either like this or like this, whatever made me feel comfortable while chewing that gum, to kind of get as close to that habit as possible, but not actually doing it. Next step will be to cut out or cut down as many of the triggers as possible. I know that a touch of alcohol on my lips will without a doubt make me want to smoke. So actually stop drinking. I know that's not very sexy, but it's just temporary for now, at least until I have 3-4 months of continued success. The only time I drink is if I'm wearing a patch and I'm in the company of people that support and encourage this new choice. And even if I do decide to drink, I limit myself to only one, period. Make it easier on yourself to break that bad habit by avoiding the things, environments, and people that trigger it. Talking about other people, I recommend surrounding yourself with people who live the way you want to live, as well as maybe consider joining forces with somebody else. If you are around more people who have a way of being that you want, you encourage more self-discipline. And if you have an accountability partner or partners, the odds of success will be radically higher than you trying to break this habit on your own in private. Now, you know, failures along the way can happen. We are only human. So I suggest to plan for it, just in case. So if it happens, you are prepared. That means maybe a rehab day during which you purposely banish any thoughts telling you, oh, just give up. Maybe have some post-its with affirmations already written that you can simply pull out and place around you so they continue empowering you and reminding you of your purpose. Maybe remember that you can have pop-up alerts on your phone calendar. Maybe pre-plan which workout class you could take that day that you know will help you mentally to get back on track. Things like that would be amazing to plan ahead in case of a slip up. And B, I also think that you should fine yourself for the lapse, because you want to associate that bad habit with a consequence that you don't like. Typically, certain workouts or money have the most powerful incentive, so you can play with whichever one you feel will make you feel the burn the most. There are 3 other things that can help along this process, and I will send a list of what those things are and how to best implement them in this week's email to my beloved email subscribers. So if you are signed up, I'm excited for you to get it, and maybe you can tell me what you think. And you know, there are many different videos that I made that also can help you on this journey. If you click the playlist tab and check out particularly the self-help and personal development playlist, you will have more resources there that can be of service to you depending on what you're trying to change, of course. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, if you got inspired or you learned something new, and definitely subscribe. May good luck and fortune follow you everywhere you go, today and every day. I love you for watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you again this week in a new video. Bye!